right, y'all. We're back again. Shut Up and Dill podcast. I'm one of your three co-hosts, Nikki. We also have Vivi.
Hi.
And Jimbo.
Hello. Hello.
So for anybody who's new joining us, we are your three co-hosts for the Shut Up and Dill podcast. And as always, we're going to kick off with a little shout out to one of our partners, 002. They run amazing tournaments, which we've talked about on several episodes. But we do want to talk about the one that's coming up in March. And what are the dates for that one?
March 8th through 10th.
Yep, okay. 8th through 10th. Singles is on Friday the 8th, and then they have a team format Saturday the 9th, and then like a championship Sunday on the 10th. So should be like pool play for teams on the 8th, and then, on Saturday the 9th, and then the championship rounds on the Sunday the 10th.
Sunday the 10th, yeah.
Yep.
So for our watchers or viewers on YouTube, you will see that there is a
What is it?
Jimbo. You were like he was turning his head side to side like somebody was watching him right now. For our viewers on YouTube, you will notice that the background has changed a little bit in the apartment. So we have some Christmas stuff up. It's that season.
We have I don't know if y'all can tell, but it's a pickleball Christmas tree. We have red and white pickleballs that I painted myself as ornaments on our black Christmas tree. We did it for Wednesday Addams.
Yeah. I think the red and white, it pops pretty good on the black tree.
Yeah.
I like it.
It does. It looks really good.
Yep.
And I bring that up because I know all of us have Christmas on our mind. We have a lot of gifts to give and purchase. So, in tying that in with 002, don't forget that you do have a discount code for singles. It's DILL?
D-I-L-L.
It's just DILL. Yeah, DILL. But for the teams, it is DILL Team.
Right.
DILL Team. And that is a $50 discount off of the team portion.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Right.
that's a good discount.
Yeah, it is. It is. The registration's pretty simple. I mean, you have a team captain that enters the information for the other players, and then it will ask for a total cost at the end. But yeah, Deal Team will save you some money. So
So use it.
use it.
Get registered. And we will be having Seth on the show at some point.
Yeah.
So we'll actually get to have somebody from 002 on the show.
The man,
Yeah.
the myth, the legend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So we have a show coming today that we've been kind of delaying, right? But let's kick off with kind of an announcement, I guess. Right? It's official. If we had a drum roll, is there a drum roll?
Is there a bump on
That's what it is?
Can
No,
you give
there's
the
not a drum roll. Sorry.
bam?
No, guys.
Just hit one randomly and see what you get. No, don't do it.
Okay. Yeah, so this announcement, it's not very exciting.
No.
So as y'all know, if you are a listener, you know I'm going to school very soon, which means that I will not have as much time for pickleball. I plan on obviously still being a part of this podcast and playing, recreationally, and I plan on playing as much 002 as I can, but I will no longer be playing APP, PPA, USAPA, nothing other than 002, just, it's a great time, and, I don't leave, mad at myself or wishing I could do better. I just, it's just a fun time. So, yeah. But.
Yeah, I think they make it that way, and I think it's, I think that's a good part about it, about 002 is just, whether you're in the tournament or not, competitively, if you get bounced, there's always good matches to watch, and there's music and food and all kinds of stuff out there.
Yeah.
But, that's the big announcement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So interest in pickleball maybe hasn't changed. Still interested in pickleball and playing. You've been playing a lot, but just the goal has changed.
Yes.
So what are the goals coming up?
So, well, as y'all know, I played a lot of Next Gen, and I, wanted to be, the next big junior pro, but I think my time has passed, and, I'm focused on other things, like my education, and that's not a shot at pro juniors, but personally, I just think my education is what I really want to focus on. So, yeah, but
Yeah.
I am.
It's crazy at 16 to think like your time in pickleball has passed because you're so young.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, I think at some point or another, like it's not like you have to decide, but the amount of time and dedication it takes to kind of do what some of the junior pros are doing.
To be a pro athlete, yeah.
Yeah, a pro athlete in general,
Yeah.
but I mean, especially if you're still trying to work through school, or if you're, I mean, some of the PPA pros on tour are, some
in
of them
school.
still working full-time jobs or full-time school. So it's tough. It's got to be stressful on a 16-year-old when you want something so bad. But I mean,
Well, also there's not a lot of 16-year-olds that are, going to like college, and it's like, when you're in high school, it's a lot different.
yeah,
Yes. Mm-hmm. But a lot of the junior pros are homeschooled,
yeah,
so it's completely different. And the ones that do go to college often go to colleges like Utah Tech and TCU that have like that collegiate pickleball team. So you can do both at the same time, same place.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Well, I kind of think of it as you're 16. There's a whole lot, right?
Yeah.
There's a whole lot. I mean,
Yeah.
and I think you're, trying to think through all the choices, and there's just a lot that's going to change. I mean, I changed a lot, a lot from in my 20s, and then again in my 30s, and hey, I'm now at 40, so I'm sure there's going to be a lot of changes. Never the same in any decade. So
Yeah.
it's just the evolution of being a person. So
Right.
yeah, and I have a lot of respect for the juniors that do go to school and play pickleball. I'm just not. I feel like I won't be successful in either if I try and focus too hard on two things. I'm just not that person. Like, I need to put all my time and effort into one thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and as a parent, like I'm 100% like supportive. It's like, you came to me and were like, "Hey, I really don't know, know that I can focus on two things at once, and I really want to start focusing on school. I've been homeschooled, and I'm looking to get back like in a classroom setting, and I think my parents would be the same way. Is like I think that's a great decision. I love pickleball. I love to watch you play pickleball. I like playing pickleball with you, but when it comes to somebody wanting to better themselves in a career that you think has a little more longevity, then like I'm all for it as a parent. Like it's like, okay, well, we can stop spending money on this and spend more money on that. But no, I think it's good. I'm glad you were able to come to me and your mom and Nikki too, and just kind of share those thoughts and be honest with us.
Yeah.
all right.
Sorry, everyone. No.
Big announcement. All right. So episode now, we're going to talk about something that we have been we've just not found the time to talk about it. But we, between the three of us, have been talking a lot about it. We just haven't made it a show yet.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about a player type. And I think of this as like those little definition cards that you see, like when you see in, the dictionary, like this is a word and this is how it is, enunciated, and then it has the definition. So I feel like this player type is defined. And we're calling it a sour
Pickle.
sour deal. Either one, sour pickle, sour deal. Which one are we settling on?
We've been calling it Sour Pickle.
We've been referring to sour pickle.
Sour pickle? Okay.
But we can change it if you want.
Nope.
It's our word.
Nope. I have a lot of words floating in my head. So sour pickle. So this is a very, I think it's a player type that everybody will know, but I'm going to explain it. Okay. So let's say that you meet a new player. We met one recently. and I'm going to call him out on this. No, it's not. It's not bad.
We're name dropping?
No, it's okay. It's okay. He's a new listener, so I think
He
it's
is a
fun.
listener. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun to do it. So we went up to one of the facilities, like on a, I don't know, it was like on a Sunday or something like that. And we met a gentleman named Orlando. So hi, Orlando.
What's up, Orlando? And
he had just moved here, was just getting to know people. Super, super nice guy.
Okay.
And super fun to play with. Like every time somebody did something that was a really good shot or a good skill, he was so excited about it, even if he lost the point. He was just so excited at learning and being part of playing with, advanced players and seeing the skills that they can do and kind of setting goals to do them, as we've all done, right? Yeah. But what a sour pickle is let's take somebody who's like Orlando, that's very excited in the beginning and
super athletic though. Like you could tell.
Athletic.
You could
super
tell.
Super athletic, yeah. And usually, if you're very athletic, you're going to learn pickleball. You're going to be able to get and progress pretty quickly in pickleball. So I know we've all encountered the player that originally wanted to play with advanced players so that they could learn and absorb, see those exciting points, be part of them. But then as they level up and get better, they become a little bit more exclusive about who they want to hit with.
Right.
And they're a little less tolerant of individuals that may be beginning their path and or maybe middle of the road. Yeah. Right? So we're calling that a sour pickle.
Yeah.
And this isn't someone that, like, let me preface it with, if you're on a challenge court and somebody comes onto a challenge court that isn't at that skill level, I do think it's okay to say, hey, maybe not this court. But if you go into open play, let's say that you're an advanced player and you go into open play, carrying an attitude about playing somebody who may be at a different level, you can't be exclusive. If you go into open play, you can't say, oh, well, I'm going to exclude you from hitting with me because I'm too good for you. So the sour pickle would be that. Somebody who just wants to exclude people because they don't think that they're going to learn anything from them by playing them.
Right.
Yeah. And my side of that, and I get this a lot for two reasons. I will start this off by saying I get a lot of this from older guys. It's not always guys though. We know a handful of girls
when you say older guys, it's pretty much any guy that's on a pickleball court because unless it's some 12-year-old kid, because you're always the youngest. In all, it's all seriousness, you're usually the youngest one at wherever we're at. We got a couple of good friends that are, younger, maybe close to your age or, but yeah, so that's pretty much anybody. Any male is probably.
Anyways, and I get on the court with these older guys and I'm with my dad or I'm even with Nikki and they're like, well, I don't want to play a little girl. And yeah, that's what I'm...
Someone has said that to you?
Well, no, but you've been there. Like, you've seen it happen.
Yeah, you can tell. Yeah. If somebody verbally says that, though...
No, nobody's...
I'll probably lose my temper on that one.
Yeah.
Definitely when I've started, people are like, well, I don't want to hit against... I don't want to, be... hitting against one girl.
I think it's one... And that's, I think it's one thing to, when they... know you're just starting, especially a young girl or young lady, like when they know you're just starting and maybe they're a little more advanced. Yeah, it's definitely, just court etiquette to, maybe place the ball certain places, but not necessarily, drive the ball as hard as you can at somebody. But not that doesn't happen either, because we've been part of that too. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like you and I have met a lot of people like Orlando and, just kind of maybe, if they're looking for tips and stuff, we'll give it to them. But for the most part, it's, it's kind of like, just kind of strategy on the court and showing them, how we were taught and how the game is supposed to be played, so to speak. And then, they just, really, take that and run with it, like you said, level up, but they don't want to pass that down to anybody else. They just, it's all about how can I get better and how can I get in with
what's in it for
with
me.
the next group. And it's not necessarily, remember when these guys, took me under their wing or invited me to the challenge court or, asked me what I was doing Saturday and met me up here. They're, the Sour Pickle is not looking to do any of that.
Yeah.
The Sour Pickle is trying to, see who he can learn from next, which is, I want to learn as much as I can too, but at the same time, I want to pay it forward and, remember when I got, asked to step up to the challenge court or finally got invited to, certain places to play, so yeah, Sour Pickles are tough. It's tough to deal with, especially like with you and you. I mean, you guys can hold your own on the court, but to see people kind of, just kind of shy away from taking on certain matches because of who's on the other side of the net it's not right.
Yeah, and I think I get a little less of it because we partner together so much. So I think that I get kind of a little bit of a pass sometimes on the court, especially with two guys. But I have seen it very openly, like when it comes to you on the court, and like it infuriates me because you have, especially when it comes to somebody who has said, hey, I have an interest in getting better. Right. It's not like, and Vivi, you're one of many people that this could affect, right? Yeah. And even myself, it's not like we walk out there saying, hey, I'm just out here to never learn anything and I just want to hit the way I hit and never progress. We're quite the opposite. We're like, I want to learn and I want to get better and I want to be challenged and learn different shots. So I think that, the Sour Pickles just don't embrace that. And maybe it's just because they're still in their season of learning. Yeah. And they're like, but that attitude gets me. It really infuriates me of, man, there were people that helped you along the way. And that's kind of the spirit of pickleball. Yeah. Like,
oh yeah, for sure.
it is. And I mean, I remember when I started, I didn't step foot on a challenge court until somebody invited me because I didn't want to play beyond what people felt like I should or where I would be competitive. So I waited until somebody invited me, but I took every hit to try to get better, I mean, every one of them. And I will say we've thrown out guys a lot here, but we know some females, like you said. We know some females that, I have one in particular that
I'm not
going to name drop.
I think we all are
not going to name drop. But has really been blessed with a lot of people helping her learn, but then has become very exclusive with who she'll hit with. And, I think there's a time and a place for that. Go to the challenge court and be exclusive there. But if you're in a common hit that everybody was invited, be prepared to play any of them. That's part of the deal.
Right, yeah. Everybody's got certain strengths and certain weaknesses at these organized hits. So, like, either expose them or help them work on them, so they can realize what their weaknesses are. There's always a way to get better without, being super exclusive of who you play with, I think. But I think that's what makes us, like, a good group that I'm just always appreciative to be a part of, and I'm glad Vivi's kind of learning from us. Is like we're just I don't know. I think we're always willing to help and take time out to make sure those who want to learn are learning. I guess. And
I think I'm probably not as vocal as I could be. I will say that. I think that when I'm playing with somebody that isn't you, I've always been a person that's like, I don't want to share my opinion unless you invite me to share my opinion. If you invite me, and I do think people are better about saying, hey man, you want me to give you a pointer? You want some, you want some pointers on what to do?
No, I don't think I give any like
unsolicited
advice.
And I think that's good. I really hate when people are like, actually, it would be better if you did this. I'm like, let me learn on my own. But that's also just me.
I'm talking about like the person that goes on to the challenge court that maybe isn't supposed to be there. Like I will, I'll hit drop shots, and when they're used to playing on some of the other courts where it's just, people are driving the ball and, hit a drop shot to let them know that when I hit this drop shot, you're going to have to hit it up, and then I get to hit it down.
Yeah.
Just to, like, I'm talking about teaching like that.
Yeah.
I know that I could probably drive the ball at somebody and maybe win every point if I wanted to. Maybe not, but I think just teaching without really verbalizing what I'm teaching, I think is kind of how I try to do it. I don't give unsolicited advice.
Yeah. I don't feel like I do give unsolicited advice. But I do think there are times I probably could give a little bit more strategy or advice than I do when I'm playing with somebody new.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm like, why did we choose to do that? I'm like standing there.
I'll just roll my eyes and be like, oh my God.
That's
It's a bad spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, it's like, honestly, well, I don't know. I don't want to get hate for saying this.
Say it.
Uh-oh.
Hate from who?
Yeah.
Our listeners.
Oh.
Being like, well,
Okay.
actually.
But we all can have opinions. It doesn't mean...
Yeah.
I think viewers are attracted to different opinions.
I think if we're playing with somebody new and it's, like challenge court, they put their paddles up with you and, whatever. I don't think I really don't think it matters. I'm like, it doesn't matter if they hit the wrong spot 2 or 3 times. Like, I don't think I need to say anything because I might never play with this person again.
Oh,
Like,
Yeah.
I don't think it's my place unless I'm your partner. Say anything. Not even like, maybe next time we should hit over there.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. I feel like it's a place where you learn, like we've been saying, and like learn what's right and what's wrong, like by yourselves, because it sticks better.
I think that's okay.
All right.
I think that's the way you learn. So I think that's what you project like on other people. Some people really do learn, but like you learn fantastically well through somebody stopping you and saying, hey, do it this way. Mm-hmm. And here's the mechanics behind it. Your ability to be able to take that into your brain and synthesize that into a shot is incredible. Like I've met very few people that can do that as quickly as you. I'm the exact opposite. I'm like so difficult to teach, and I have to do the same skill like 20,000 times before it clicks. And I just have to get through the motor skill of it to be able to perfect it. But some people really do learn from you. Like, I would say Orlando's one of them of like, he was totally open to like, oh, maybe you might want to hit here or maybe you want to hit there. Or he was observing and learning at the same time. I think some people just show up ready to do that, and some are just in their mode and they're just going to hit what they hit.
Right.
Yeah.
Whenever I meet the in the mode person that they're just going to hit what they hit, I'm like you, that I'm like, okay, that's wasted effort on my part to say anything.
Yeah.
Because they're really there to just hit the ball the way that they hit it.
Right.
And that's it.
Right.
So.
Yeah. So back to the sour pickle.
Yeah.
So that same person that that we're like matched up with on the on the court for the first time on the challenge court or whatever, and it's like, oh my God, like you're gonna hit it there again.
Yeah.
You might not see them for 6 months, and then they come back and they're a little bit better. They're making a little bit better decisions, and feeling really good about themselves, and and then they get on the challenge court with somebody who's just stepping up.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm
throwing a
ready
fit
to go.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going home. Like I cannot play with this guy.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, like 6 months ago.
That was you.
That was me, like eating all those overheads that you were like serving up to those guys.
Yeah.
So take it easy. Like it's great to advance and get better, but
Know your place.
know your place.
Know your place.
No, it's true. It's true. No, I know like a lot of people that we have played with in the past, or that I've maybe met when they were first. Maybe I've been playing a while, met them, and they started playing, and I'll get on the court with whoever. Like say it's me and you or me and Nikki, and they're on with it's usually like me and one of you guys against two guys. That's usually how it works out.
Yeah.
And now they're beating me, and it's like, well, like it's like mixed against men's. It's like we're playing two different games on the different side on different sides.
That's true.
Of the game,
Yeah, but I do think you have a bit of a blind side there.
What do you mean?
I yeah, I get what you're saying about it. It's true. It is different playing with a female partner than two men against two men, right? But I also think that sometimes people get better and you don't recognize it. You get frustrated by it. Like they're better than they were 3 months ago or a month ago or 2 months ago. And instead of recognizing, okay, they're better and I need to come up with a different plan or maybe not feed it there, you kind of actually get frustrated by it and just try to kind of go through it. And it's like, well, they're better. They're getting that shot now. So we've got to move on and do something different.
Man, I have my own logic to that, and I actually think about it so often.
About me in particular?
No, about this whole situation, because I am the same way as him.
Okay.
I'm like, okay. Like, okay, they've gotten better. That's so true. Maybe he doesn't recognize it because, whatever. I understand that they've gotten better, but so have I.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I feel like if I'm using my hand, so sorry for audio listeners, but I was here when we first played and they were here.
Yes.
I feel like if they've gotten better, so have I. I feel like still we're at the same place we were before.
Okay. Go ahead, because I have something for that, but continue.
Well, but do y'all want to hear my actual logic part, I
Sure.
compare that to?
Okay.
This is gonna be so dumb. So say you have a 7th grader and a 9th grader, and that 9th grader is like, well, I'm smarter than you, and the 7th grader is like, well, no, you're not. I feel for that 7th grader because they could be smarter than them for being a 7th grader, than being a 9th grader. They obviously aren't going to know what that 9th grader knows because they've been in school longer. So that 7th grader is still just as smart as that 9th grader, just on different levels. If that makes sense for y'all, give this video a thumbs up.
So I have a different approach to that. So, and I'm trying to think of a good analogy for this. The only thing I can think of is when you're tightening a screw, okay? So when you first tighten a screw, the resistance is very little. But once you get closer to the wood or the object and it's going deeper in, the resistance is greater. It's harder for you to screw that in. So I see that the same as somebody in their progression. It's much easier to move from a 2-5 to a 3-5. That can happen in a month, literally. For pickleball, that can happen in a month. Moving to a 4-0 can happen maybe 3 months later. Moving to a 4-5, though, that may take a year or two.
Yep.
Right? So you may incrementally gotten better, but they probably have incrementally gotten better faster because they were coming from a lower starting point. So they may catch up to you just depending on their potential. They may catch up to you. They may catch up to me. They may catch up to him. Now's the defining point of who keeps going, who keeps progressing. But that progression is going to take a whole lot more effort than it did in the beginning. Yeah. In the beginning, I just need to go out there and hit a ton of balls with real no direction. Eventually, I'll figure some things out. But to make the jump from 4 to 4-5, 4-5 to 5-0, that takes a lot more focused effort to be able to make that leap of consistency and skills in your tool chest. And it's a defining difference. Is I think a lot of people can make it, I would say, to the 4-0 level. Getting to the 4-5 defines a little bit more people, and getting to that 5-0 plus, that defines a whole nother set of people on what their potential is, what effort they're willing to put in. But I do think somebody can catch up pretty quick, and then it's really just who's going to put in the most effort and time, and whose potential is there.
Right.
You know?
No, I agree, and I think just having just a long history or experience in tennis helps those people jump from starting at
tennis
4-0 to
background,
jumping
definitely.
to 5-0 like really quick. And a lot of the people that I play with have that experience. So they're making leaps and bounds. What took me 3 years is taking them a year.
Well, they're also changing the style of game.
Yeah, they're also like 20, like give me like. Why can't I find people that are like 45? Like everybody's 22 and 23.
There definitely is a skill gap
16.
in two different things. Yeah, there's a skill gap in the juniors side that there's just not enough junior players that are advanced, and there's also a skill gap on age too. Like on 40 plus, being a 5-0 player is different than being 20 and being a 5-0 player. Like that's different.
Y'all, you know what? I have something I want to add to that. And I know we are
go for it.
30 minutes, but I want to add that, maybe at next gen, all these players, they consistently go to all these tournaments and, play 5-0, 19 plus, and they see all the other juniors. And I'm like, guys, I'm afraid I'm playing other 16, 17-year-olds like a 43-year-old because that's all I've been.
Oh.
No, guys, I'm serious. I'm serious. Like, I play around like y'all.
Yeah.
And I'm playing like y'all, and I'm not playing the same as
it's a different game. Yeah, it's a different game. Like, they're moving quicker. They're, not afraid to put as much pace on the ball because they can get to the, the counter a little bit faster. And like we're having to be really selective of how we hit because we want to be in position for the next ball.
Exactly. And I'm like, other juniors, like, they love, driving and they love the hand battles. And I'm like, when I'm playing y'all and I'm playing, other people here in our area, it's like, well, then I can defend every drop that's hit to me, but I can't defend every drive because I'm not used to that because everyone always drops and dinks here and it's not, it's just my climate. And I feel like it's setting me apart.
So we're holding you back.
That's what I'm saying exactly. Yeah. But
Okay, anything to add to that?
I don't know. I mean,
that
there's a
make
lot
sense?
to add to that. I will.
Yeah,
It does. It makes sense. I hear what you're saying.
Okay, good.
I think it makes sense, but I do think that I don't know that I necessarily, like, there are a lot of people that drive the ball very effectively in the group that we play. If you have to be able to handle that before you can handle anything that a junior is going to be doing. And they pass through that too. A lot of these juniors started off in rec play locally at a gym, right? Or, at the public park or whatever. And they pass through those individuals that are just... seasonal like players or just casual players or maybe a little bit more competitive. And they just probably did invest a lot of time and energy and travel into getting around to tournaments where they were exposed to even more advanced players. And we do have another episode coming up that'll talk a little bit about the rating systems and, who you're surrounded by. But I do think that there are a lot of parents on the junior side that have really made a focused effort to have these children travel, even traveling alone. I know a lot of them go to Next Gen alone, and they're housing with adults there, or they're going somewhere and training for a week or two with somebody who is willing to work with the juniors. So that I think that's the exposure maybe that you haven't had. But there are people here that drive the ball that you can practice against, but that. And the combination of all the other exposure definitely helps you get better faster.
Yeah, but those junior pros, they're not just driving the third ball. It's not like what are you going to do on your 4 shot, but what are you going to do on your 6 shot and your 8 shot? It's here. I feel like a lot of at our level, a lot of people are looking to drive and looking to finish. Where that first drive is just setting up. It's just really setting up the point. So it's not just about block.
Strategic.
Yeah. It's not just the block, but then get ready to block again, or get ready for the angle, or whatever it is. So I mean, anybody can stick a paddle up and block or contact volley, but how do you
volley, huh?
how do you prepare for for the next one, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you set up the point? I mean, but that's a difference between being a 4-5, 5-0, 5-5, 6-0.
Yeah.
Is how are you building the point? How are you opening it up? It's similar to like in singles. The other day, you and I were playing. When we first started playing singles, my tactic was to hit the return down the middle, hit the serve down the middle of the court. You didn't really have a lot of variety in where you could return it, really set me up to be able to do whatever I wanted. Now it's quite the opposite, where I want to serve you out wide every time to get you out of court position so that I have an opening somewhere.
Right.
And I may not be able to get you on the first one. I've got to be prepared, right? So now I've got to pull you to the right, and then I've got to pull you to the left. So I've had to change my approach to playing to you because you've gotten better, which infuriated me for a while. I was like, dang, I don't like that I'm losing so badly, like losing really bad. But then I kind of had that come to Jesus conversation with myself of like, well, then you need to change your strategy because serving it down the middle is only causing you grief.
Yeah.
I've got to handle what return you do and have enough to execute a shot that's going to make you run,
Right.
you know, so, or put you out of position.
Giving all my singles strategy away to all of our listeners that I'm going to play against.
You can give something away about me. Just hit enough balls and she'll hit out. So, but anyway, Sour Pickles. If you think you might be a sour pickle,
You probably are.
oh, you probably are. No, you know, in one thing you mentioned this, and I think when the pros said it, you know, spend 30% of the time playing with people who are above you, 30% on the same level, and 30% under, because you're going to experience any type of player when you're playing.
Yeah.
So I think that's good advice.
Which is also something coming up in our next episode.
Spoilers. Teaser.
Sorry.
So we are going to end the episode. We wanted to end a little bit shorter for this one. So we are going to end. Don't forget to register for 002 tournament, Dill team, or just Dill if you're only doing singles. And anything else in closing? Check out our socials. Yeah, social.
Shutupanddill.podcast on Instagram.
Yeah.
Shut Up and Dill.
It's Shut Up and Dill podcast on
Shut Up and Dill, period,
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Facebook,
on everything.
Instagram, TikTok.
Yeah.
Email us with suggestions.
Yeah.
What's the email address?
Please do. Yeah. Yeah.
We love
If you want
getting-
to,
we
but
love getting
We love
messages.
suggestions. We're going to have a suggestion on the next episode that we're doing. We have suggestions that have been sent to us, but y'all, we really do like the precipitation. Participation. Man, I could not get that word to
Precipitation, we
come
love the
right.
precipitation in our inbox.
Participate. My head does not want to do that word today, but we really enjoy it. We like the comments. We like the likes,
Yeah.
shares.
Yeah.
Tell us what you want to hear. This show's for y'all. So
Yeah.
Yeah, don't not engage with us because you think other people are. Like, other people are, but also include
we
yourself.
want it all.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're stingy.
Yeah.
We want all of it. So okay, that's it. Well, thank you guys.
All right, thanks, guys.
Bye.